What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? How are you guys doing? I want to discuss the Coros Pace 2 watch again because at $200, this is a watch that is, less than half the price of some of the more traditional triathlon watches on the market. And the Coros Pace 2, it is, by no means perfect, but in some ways, it's actually even better than some of the best triathlon watches on the market today. And, hearing myself say that, I feel like it almost sounds like I'm, some sort of walking, talking advertisement for Coros. How about this? I really don't like the, digital crown for navigating this particular watch. I couldn't say that if this was some sort of weird advertisement or something like that. And I also, I do like to mention when I have or have not paid for a watch with my own money. And Coros did send me this watch, for my initial review. And I've been using this watch, off and on for about 6 months now. But Coros, they're not sponsoring this video. They didn't tell me to say anything specific about the watch, and they don't really even know that I'm making this video. And whenever a company does send me a watch like this, I do try to pass it along to one of you guys in the form of a giveaway. So, stick around to the end of this video and we'll talk about how you can win this watch. Okay, swimming, biking, and running. This watch, it checks all the boxes for triathlon. But here's what's not perfect about this watch. It's not gonna be the most accurate open water swimming watch on the market. Here's some quick GPS tracking data, and we're comparing the Coros Pace 2 in the blue here to the Garmin 945, which is, a $600 watch. And I wore it on my other arm. And then the Garmin 745, which I wore, just in the back of my swim cap, which means it should have not gone underwater as much as the other two watches, and it should be a little bit more accurate. Additionally, when it comes to lap swimming, you don't have the option to enter, drill mode, so that if you're doing a kick set or you're doing a drill set, I know which we should all be doing, and we're not always, but your overall distances are not gonna be perfect when you don't have that drill mode to be able to select. As far as biking goes, the watch has ANT+, Bluetooth. It connects and displays, most of the devices that I have used. It's not gonna do anything crazy like connect to my Garmin Varia radar and display traffic data like some of my Garmin watches will do. But for the most part, it does work with most devices. When running, it doesn't have the very best GPS tracking of all the watches that I've tested. That title still belongs to the Garmin 745. There's also not a ton of recovery or detailed sleep tracking options on this device, but it does show periods of deep and light sleep. I just, personally prefer the way that Polar does its sleep tracking. But here's the catch. All of those watches that I mentioned, the top Polar triathlon watch, it cost $500. The Garmin watches, cost the same or even more. The Coros Pace 2, it's got this battery life that can go for 20 days of daily usage, 30 hours in full GPS mode. And so, from a day-to-day charging perspective, you're looking at double what a lot of those other traditional triathlon watches do. All of that for, $200, less than half the price of some of the other watches that I mentioned. And this thing, it has track mode, meaning you get more accurate distance and pacing data, when you go to the track for your speed workout sessions. And you've got a really well-designed smartphone application that can provide you with, downloadable workouts and, a heat map of muscles that you've been using recently. And this watch does all of this, and it still only weighs, either 29 grams or 35 grams, depending on if you get that nylon watch band. So super light watch. In fact, I think it's still the lightest watch that I've ever tested. Here is what it looks like on my, very tiny man wrists. And here is what this watch looks like on my wife's wrist. So not a massive watch, definitely something that you can wear if you have smaller wrists. and it's not gonna be intrusive or super large or anything crazy like that. Overall, a really great triathlon watch at a great price, and I very often talk about expensive triathlon products on this channel, so I love to highlight or re-highlight a product that is a little bit more reasonable for people to consider. But if you'd like to win this watch, just drop below in the comment section of this video. All I'd like to know is, what would you use this watch for? Would you use it for running primarily? Would you use it for triathlon? What would you use the watch for? And I'll give this video just a little bit of time, and then I'll use a random number generator to actually select a winner of this. And I'll just need to get your address, through Instagram private messages or someplace like that, so that I can mail this your way. For full details on this particular giveaway, drop down in the description and just check out those details. And hopefully one of you guys are excited to win this. But you do not need a watch to be a better triathlete. All you really need to do is get out there, swim, bike, run, rinse, and then repeat it all over again. So that is what I'm going to encourage you to do, and we will see you guys on the next one.